Guys, Matt Haycox here for another episode of the No Bollocks with Matt Haycox podcast. And today I'm already getting a stiff neck with our two for the price of one. We've got Holly Bryant and Amelia Smith from Dazed and Engaged with us. Welcome to the show, girls.
Thank you. We'll give you a massage afterwards.
I'm going to need it. Honestly, I'm going to have to work out where I look. If I'm not looking at you, don't feel like I'm being rude.
It's okay.
I'm going
to look at each other.
We're not that sensitive. Jealous.
Right. Tell us a story. Dazed and Engaged. I mean, we were just talking a little bit before we started recording. You guys are both business owners anyway. Aside from this, businesses that you still have.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about pivoting. We're going to talk about starting a business. We're going to talk about scaling e-commerce. Where did it all begin?
Well, it all began when we needed a second form of income. We were strong believers in that.
Yeah.
And we actually wanted to just do, everyone we were talking about was like, you'll make millions doing like ship and shop, like base drop shipping.
Ship and shop.
That's
I like that. That sounds much more exciting than drop shipping.
There's a reason why we didn't do it.
We couldn't say it. A chip shop. And we were just like, what can we sell? And then we basically knew that there was a gap in the market for party supplies. And we always said, stick to what we know. And we were just going to do like direct to Amazon, just literally straight in, but no complications. And then me and Amelia were like, let's build a kick-ass brand.
And tell me about your relationship beforehand. You were friends anyway?
Used to work with each other.
Okay.
Yeah, we worked together for about 6 years. Holly had left. I'd literally just got back off mat leave with my second child, and Holly literally resigned. Well, she'd left that day, didn't you?
Yeah.
So we were just having a catch up. She went off to set up her own business, and then we sat down. We got together. We worked on the exact same team for literally 6 years. So we trust each other. We know each other inside and out.
And your backgrounds are marketing?
Both of
Pretty
ours.
much, yeah. Marketing,
design.
Production, design.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you have a separate business, which is bridal
boutique.
Bridal boutique. So
Selling wedding
you've
dresses.
got a physical shop.
Physical shop. Yeah.
Cool.
Which is two ends of the spectrum. We've got an e-commerce shop and now a physical shop.
Love a shop.
I thought one would give more freedom, but it doesn't.
That was the idea.
So you decide there's a gap in the market for party supplies. At this point, we're just talking party supplies as let's say a global niche. You hadn't planned that it was going to be hen supply parties.
Absolutely. We looked in. We were like thinking we'd do birthdays, baby showers, hen parties. But when you actually look at your investment of like the SKU count of what you need in all categories, we were like, no, it's too much right now.
But we also wanted to solve a problem. We didn't want to just set up a business and just sell product. We wanted to obviously have a little bit of purpose. And every time we spoke about it, we kept on coming back to the idea of, well, what is the brand? What does it look like? And even as much as we tried to remove ourselves from the brand itself, we couldn't. And then we very quickly landed on talking about different problems that existed in both of our lives and friends and family who had been talking about it. And finding good quality Hendy supplies in one place was...
Where'd you get those bobbly glasses with a big dick on the forehead from?
No willy straws on our website.
We'll get shut down.
But I mean, nothing against the willy straw, but the point was is that you would have to go to like 7 different websites, shops, party shops. Like it's a real pain in the arse trying to plan a hen do. It's nearly as hard as a wedding. We're literally planning Holly's hen at the moment. Luckily, through what we've created, it's making life a little bit easier for us. But in general, it's so much that goes into it, and so much planning. And what do you wear? How do you dress the bride? How do you dress the hens? And we wanted to create, or just remove a little bit of that problem for the consumer, and be able to have that one-stop shop destination where you can just buy everything and not have to worry about where you need to go, and make it really simple and easy for the customer.
Hey, Matt here. Just interrupting myself quickly to say thank you for listening to No Bollocks. But did you also know I've got another podcast, Stripping Off with Matt Haycox? Very different. No Bollocks is the quick daily business tactics that you need. But Stripping Off, we go deep, deep, deep with a CEO, with a celebrity, with an athlete, with just an international, inspiring character. We find out what makes them tick, we find out how they got to where they got to, and we find out how you can learn and benefit from them too. So jump on over to Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever you listen to your content, and I'll see you on a future episode.
Obviously, we're here in the UAE. I mean, is this planned, or was this planned as a UAE e-commerce business? I mean, I know obviously e-commerce is global, but you're still going to be marketing marketing to a
Absolutely.
degree. So it's UAE only or just UAE friendly?
It's UAE based, so everything's here, the products are here, logistics and everything. Obviously, myself and Holly are based here, but we ship globally, and we open up to all global. We've had quite a few global orders, haven't we?
We have.
International orders, I should say.
We're the only one in this region who's doing bespoke just for hen parties.
And you say you stock hold locally.
Yeah.
So all the product that you sell, you actually hold stock of that. I mean, is this other people's product you buy in? Do you have any of your own kind of branded, own bespoke products as well?
We do both.
Yeah,
we do both. So we've bought in our own. We actually spent a year of sampling and finding products. And our main thing is we bought enough to withhold, but then also we wanted the quality there, but our main thing was teaming up with the right suppliers because I've done it before where we've had suppliers, you've bought from them, invested in them, and it hasn't worked out. So that's where it took us so long to launch.
Yeah.
To get that right.
And we do have a few like bespoke products that we've created, items that we think that the customer is going to really want and needs, like a toiletry bag, cosmetics bags, things like that, tumblers, items. And also being in the region specifically, we were like, what kind of hen parties do people go on and what would they want to have with them, carry about, gift? What would the bride have versus the, what would the bride have versus the bridesmaid or maid of honour? And also kind of targeting different sections. Whereas we then also have party supplies, limited for now. We didn't want to go too far in, and we want to listen to our customers in terms of what they're looking for. And we didn't want to go too super niche. But then we've also got gifting. So when it comes to gifting, we do have known brands that we have within the gifting section to be able to support.
And how many suppliers have you got? How many SKUs have you got?
We've got 149 SKUs.
Right.
Suppliers, we've literally got about 30.
And those 149 SKUs, is that something that you expect to grow materially, or are you pretty much covering all the bases in hen requirements?
No, I think
growth.
there's definitely a lot more growth. There's a lot more that we can do. And I think for launch, we really wanted to hone in on the kind of key specific items that you would need. Quite frankly speaking, we also didn't have the investment to be able to, because it's self-funded by both myself and Holly. And we didn't want to be in a position where we were, at one point, we probably had about 800 SKUs. But we had to whittle it down and be like, what are the key things that brides are going to wear? And everything's categorized in terms of hair accessories, hats, bags, etc. And we wanted to keep it, we wanted to remove the decision making and not have too much on there. We didn't want to be a bridesmaid shop for Amazon. Amazon bridesmaid shop, I should say. Yeah. We wanted it to be a little more accessible.
We were strong on link selling as well.
Yeah.
Like really looking at like the ads cart value, as in like, if you've got the bride hat, they have like 6 bridesmaids. So that's what we're finding. They'll buy a black hat in 6 and we've already multiplied that way. So that's what we've really focused on.
Let's talk about some of the practicalities that the boys and girls at home can learn from starting a business in Dubai.
Yeah.
So let's take that then. Starting a business in Dubai. Obviously, you guys are both English. I don't know if you've ever started a business back in the UK. Yeah. But for me, UK versus UAE company formation, license requements, costs of hiring staff, etc. We're talking chalk and cheese. I don't want to load that question, but so tell me from your perspective, what's it been like to start a business here in the UAE?
I think it's quite a positive, personally. Like I think Dubai is so small, and I think it's something as we actually benefited so much from our network when we first launched. We got PR, which we didn't actually even pay for at the beginning, and that was purely who we knew. And I know that could be chance and luck, but I think there's so many more opportunities, I believe, here, which you can use to benefit your business. It is expensive, massively expensive, but we've been given opportunities, which I don't think we might not have got from the UK.
What about, let's say building the Ecom side, how did you decide which platform you're using? How much of the build have you done yourselves? Have you worked with third-party contractors? How have you picked them? Tell me some bad experiences you've had with people.
We've gone third party, and to be honest with you, that was our biggest lesson. We're on Shopify.
Yep.
One thing which we didn't put into the P&L, we've had to put like literally 5 different plugins into our website, and we just wish we went WordPress, honestly speaking.
But I think the reason for doing that as well is because we wanted to have, when we first had the idea we were going to launch, we were like, we're going to have an e-commerce site that sells products.
Yeah.
As the brand and the business has evolved, we've also had different ideas that we've wanted to do, and we want to host them on the website, and which the platform doesn't necessarily support.
What kind of ideas?
So we launched the Little Black Book, which is your hen party directory.
Okay.
It's, you go onto the website, you can choose different venues. We've partnered with loads of different F&B venues around the region, not just F&B, but also salons, spas.
Is this a monetizable thing for you, or is this just a way to drive traffic to the site?
For now, it's to drive traffic. We wanted to be in a position where we position ourselves as a brand, as a one-stop shop. And to be that one-stop shop and just sell the party supplies isn't necessarily living up to what we're promising. So as part of the expansion, we have the Little Black Book, which is, through the partnerships that we've got, we've established bespoke experiences that you can't get off the street. And all of our partners have been amazing. So like as a bride, for example, your bride and groom can go free. If it's a brunch, let's say, the entire party gets a free upgrade from a house package to a champagne package. You get sparklers on arrival and this. So it's all about the experience. And we didn't want to just be like, jump on here and get 10% off. But back to the kind of question on the site, it wasn't something that was able to be built out in the way that we wanted it to be built through Shopify. So we had to find a different way of achieving that. Yeah. And we're so particular, myself more on the design side, I would say. Yeah. Holly's like the logistics, I'm
numbers.
Like more the creative. But we were so particular about how we wanted everything to look that we probably caused ourselves more problems if we just went with like, someone, we're going to pay you, just create a website for us, here's a logo. Yeah. Easy enough to do, but being so specific and also working in marketing for such a long time and building websites, I knew what was going to go into it, and you know what value you're getting for your money.
Yeah, of course. But the Little Black Book worked so much for us. It was a way of, we were looking at how much we were spending on SEO, Google Ads, and also PR.
Was Ryan overcharging you?
He was. He was. Can you believe it? Cheeky. And
he's our biggest cheerleader.
He is, bless him. But it was amazing. Right? We launched a Little Black Book, but the terms of being a partner and listing on our website with our F&B venues and our spas is that they have to promote the Little Black Book on their social platforms as well. Okay. So we get their traffic as well. And our website went up by like 840%, didn't it? Like on the first week we launched. So we saw a huge spike of it. So it was definitely worth the investment.
100%.
And hopefully in the future we can monetize it.
What other marketing strategies or advertising strategies, techniques have you been using to drive traffic?
When we first launched, influencers, because before everyone used to get their hen party supplies overseas through Amazon, through those brands where you won't want to tag, you won't be like, oh, I bought this off Amazon. Proud to say it's nothing wrong with Amazon. I shop on Amazon. Yeah. And we're listed on Amazon now. But we wanted to be that influencer brand to be like, Dazed and Engaged. We share our real hens, our brides. We kind of show their journey. And when we first launched, Vicky Patterson wore our product on the first week.
Our first week. She was on a hen do in Dubai, and she wore multiple products from ours across she had a stendu. So her and her fiance were together, and she wore multiple products out that weekend, and it was unbelievable.
Sold out.
And how did you get that?
Through a friend.
Yeah.
Literally through a connection.
Right.
Used to work with her. She was planning the hen party, and she knew we launched, and she called me up, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And we actually budgeted for a content creator. We wanted someone to create content all the time, but because our branding was so strong, I like to think, from like an influencer brand, people were creating content for us. So we didn't actually need to hire someone, which was amazing.
So when you work with influencers, what kind of influencers are you looking for? Do you want people who are getting married?
Yeah.
So
predominantly.
It's kind of like a short-term influencer gig in a way. It's not someone you could work with for a long time.
It's it's a niche field, right? You only hopefully have one hen do. Well, you might have a couple in the lead up to your one wedding, but let's see. No shade. But also, like, we understand that it's a bit of a niche one, but at the same time, you have the generations where, like, you go through the waves of all my friends are now getting engaged, and you have that word of mouth that comes through. When it comes to the influencers, we were quite specific about, we're all about the celebration as well. We're not just here to sell you products. We're all about creating the community and the celebration. So for us, it's like, we wanted to celebrate you. Congratulations, you're engaged. Here's a few pieces that we think will really work. And we go really deep into it. We look at their aesthetic. We look at the types of things that we would feel like they would be happy to also wear per their style. We also send like a little cake on occasion,
like
just
a
like a
wedding
little
cake,
congratulations. And so it's a lot more personal, and we've built some really amazing relationships through the people that we've supported with and worked with. And everyone's been so kind and so supportive, and they love the brand. And, also Holly and I deal with all the communication. So it's completely personable to us.
Talk to me about the partnership for you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, is it the first? I mean, you knew each other before, but it's the first time you worked together.
Yeah.
I mean, how's that been, both good and bad?
We had the talk, didn't we, at the beginning? The talk.
Holly sat me down.
Which I think everyone needs to do. Like,
Yeah.
I've even had it with my partner. And, like, I was listening to you.
Hopefully it was a different talk.
But I remember I listened to one of your podcasts, and it was something about when you're in a relationship, you don't allow them to basically make decisions on your money or your business decisions, right?
Yeah.
And that for me is like the talk. And we had that as in, like, when are we going to take money out of the business? Are we going to pay each other a wage? Like, as crazy as it sounds, I was like, Amelia, if anything happens to you, like, where do you want your 50% to go to? Like, your kids, your husband, your mum and dad, like, all those little things. And, like, I think one thing we were aligned on in our mentality is we're here for the long ride. Like, we're not here to get a quick quid. We see the investment of our time, our money, and we want to build a long-lasting brand.
How do you set out who does what? Because I guess, when I talk about, the perfect business partnerships, what's very important for me is that you've got complementary skills and you do separate things. I mean, I have a kind of a winding down partnership with an old friend of mine, which for me is almost like the exact opposite of what a partnership should be. And that for me, it should be 1 + 1 = more than 3.
Yeah.
Not that we're just joined at the hip and we go to every meeting together and
Doesn't work.
And we do it. It's just twice as much headache for half as much profit. So how do you guys set out who does what, and when do you report into each other? How do you collaborate? How do you go off on your own?
We set KPIs, really. So every month we basically set our own KPIs, and we literally halve them. Like, Amelia, you do this, I do that, and it's your sole. Don't care how you do it, it just needs to be done. And we just have everyday communication. But I'm a strong believer in exactly what you're saying. You need to divide and conquer. And there's things that Amelia is so much better than what I am, like vice versa. And because we've worked with each other before, we know each other's personalities. Also, we know each other's strengths. So that just naturally, it's quite an organic divide.
Sure. I was going to say, I mean, what are your skills, versus your skills? What are you better at?
I mean, I think Holly and I worked literally on the exact, like, side by side on the same thing for 6 years. So I think number one, I would say, go back to the partnership, is trust. We really trust each other, and we trust each other to not only get the job done, but also to ask the right questions. That was kind of like number one. But I think in terms of the skills, there are certain things that I bring to the table. I'm probably more creative. I do copywriting, dealing with any kind of creative agency. So I was quite more, like, I organised the photo shoot. Obviously, we're completely joined at the hip in terms of consolidation and making sure that every decision is being made together. But in terms of leadership, that's where it works. Whereas Holly had already set up You and I Bridal at that point. So she came to the table with so much knowledge that I had no idea about. Trade licensing, insurance, how does everything work from a visa point of view? I had no idea about any of this. But then certain strengths that we both have, that's where we kind of say, right, we know we can both do this, you go away and do it. Like managing suppliers, pretty much what Holly and I have done for our whole lives. So it was like, okay, I need you to pick this up, you pick this up. But then we've kind of come into a bit of a natural rhythm now where anything that comes in, we don't even say you do this, you do this. It's like, we'll just kind of report back once a week on like a bit of a bigger strategy meeting, which we have every Monday. And then we just say, I've done this.
How do you balance this business with your other businesses, and how do you make sure there's no conflict, there's no time in position? How do you prioritize?
I think it's just we manage our own time. Honestly speaking, because we've always said like our first business takes priority, so to speak, because we have clients very like front facing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
An e-commerce site, we can work at like 2:00 in the morning, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you manage that time accordingly. But my thing is time management for us. I'm like, time is at the essence. Like with these, we've been given so many opportunities, and we're like, we need to jump on it now.
Yeah.
So I think it's just, to be honest with you, just making time. There's no excuses. We've just got to go guns blazing, full steam ahead.
No, 100%.
Tell me about some other challenges you've had. I mean, obviously we spoke about Shopify maybe not having been the best choice. What other challenges have you had? If you had to do things, rather if you could do things differently again, what would you do this time around?
It's not. Do you know what? We're going to make the best out of a bad situation. But about two weeks ago, unfortunately, I don't know if I can say their name, but a big Chinese retailer, rhyming with Moo, orange brand, literally entered the region 2 months ago, and they've literally copied our shop, just pretty much like taking it.
Not as good though.
Not as good, and we're not scared by it. We're going to take it to our advantage. But it's stuff like that which we were not really prepared for. So we're completely changing our strategy.
Yeah.
Are they selling like a similar product at a similar price? Or?
Yes and no, a lot cheaper.
Right.
But it's not the exact same products.
Yeah.
But it's similar products that you would, depending on the customer, you might look at it and go, well, I could get this for X amount, or I could get this for a lot cheaper. But there's no way we could ever compete with that. And also the quality of our products, we checked every single item that leaves the door. We check ourselves. Yeah. And we have had like challenges. We've had, some of the items where because of the heat in Dubai, we had all of the stock was literally sitting in my garage at one point, and we were like, we need to get it out of the garage because we can't leave it in there. It's too hot. Like, what if it damages the product? Moved it in the house. Then the floods came in Dubai, and we spent an entire weekend trying to get every single box. I think it was about 80 boxes, wasn't it? The first order off ground level.
We were building out the warehouse,
home,
and it basically timing we didn't have set up with regards to like integration of our inventory. So we actually had to pay extra for, now everything is AC'd and packaged correctly, and that's something which we didn't originally cost for.
Yeah.
So talking about this Chinese retailer that's obviously offering a similar product at a cheaper price, which I guess is a problem that that many businesses come across anyway. And I guess the key is to build a business based around brand, based around a particular customer base who are not as price conscious. They want the best. They want to buy into a brand. They want to buy into a lifestyle. How are you combating that? How are you building that brand for yourselves? How are you standing out? And you'll never win over the customers who only want to buy based on price.
Exactly.
That is what it is. But how do you set your stall out to show that you offer better value?
I think for us as well, it's the messaging and the kind of trend that we are forming. So basically people turn to us and our social platforms to create like the perfect hen party.
You two the face of this as well?
Yeah.
It's very much a kind of a Holly and Amelia brand, real people. And
like we talk about the brand, we talk about the product. That we're very much kind of, I'd say, front facing when it comes to social media in particular, which is obviously the easiest way to get and talk to our community. But even personally, when it comes to emails, communication, contacting clients, that type of thing, or customers, it's always Amelia and Holly. So it doesn't come from
even when we
else.
First launched, we called customers to be like, can we get your feedback? Like, make sure like our product was arriving okay. Like we designed our own packaging, but we were like, can it stand the test of time of being delivered? So we done like drop calls. We really listened to what customers want. But to answer your question, we're pivoting because we originally wanted to just be direct to consumer. And we invested a lot in Google ads, SEO, etc., as I explained. Now we're focusing more on the social ad side, but we have actually launched on Amazon and also Noon because we're realizing customers' mindsets have completely changed to what I thought I knew. Mm-hmm. Naturally, when somebody wants to order something quick or they're thinking party supplies, they do think Amazon. They just naturally go there. So that's why we basically are doing direct to consumer, but we are listed a few of our best sellers on those platforms.
What's the economics difference for that?
Margin.
but what I mean is, so on Amazon, you'll have a commission you've got to pay them that you won't have to pay on your website. But if effectively they'll do a lot of your marketing for you and drive it to the door. I mean,
customer service.
How does it net down? Is it more profitable to sell something from your own website?
Yeah,
absolutely,
absolutely,
materially.
Absolutely. Our biggest takeaway is what I researched into. Just start off with your best sellers because they also pay for storage.
Right.
If that makes sense. So you're paying, if you don't sell products, it's just sitting there and it just eats away at more of your margin.
Yeah. And we wanted to be in a position with the best sellers, for example, on these different retail sites where the customers, as Holly said, is already going to potentially be on that platform to shop. We are a new brand. We only launched in April. Yeah. So we've only been live for a short amount of time and the response has been incredible. Everyone has been so supportive and, we are getting sales and it's going really well. But we also understand that it is a little bit niche. So when you're going to be searching and if you don't necessarily know about us, you haven't heard of us yet, you don't know where to go, you go to your defaults, which are one of these, 7 different websites where you try and gather what you can to be able to achieve it. But by having a few of those key products on key retailers, we wanted to really showcase that we are a brand, that we do exist, and then there is more to come. So it's all about the brand recognition and making sure that we really force that brand identity down everyone so that they know it all. But also just in terms of our look and feel, our aesthetic, the way that we approach conversations, we're super natural and conversational with our customers. And we are creating a really nice community and really supporting our customers to be able to know that we're not just here to sell you a product, we're here to kind of create an experience and be part of that experience with you.
How do you monetize that customer for the future? So you bring them in onto the brand. That they're bought into the Holly and Amelia concept and the Dazed Engaged. Yeah. But once they've got married, once they've had the hen party, they've had it. I mean, okay, we could argue that they've got friends who are going to get married as well. But as they get a bit older, that's going to narrow down. Yeah. What do you do with these customers next? How do you keep selling to them into the future?
New customers. That's where we need to stay relevant. Yeah. And that's where we're really focusing on socials now. Because like you said, if you're getting married, likelihood 4 of your other friends getting married. We're at that age where, weddings happen. But like you said,
it runs in cycles.
Yeah, it runs in cycles. That's one thing I would say by owning a bridal store is just like anything, weddings never stop. Everyone's always going to be good.
What about divorce parties?
Death to us part. We'll bring a black veil.
It is trending.
Yeah.
No, I say it only half in jest because I don't know about specifically for the UAE, but obviously the divorce stats are so utterly horrendous.
Yeah.
That hopefully they'll get remarried.
That if you've got married, then chances are 50% of them are getting divorced. You can resell them for a divorce party and then resell them again for the wedding number 2.
Yeah. I mean, look, as well, a lot of our products, they're not like, there's a couple of products that are like bride and wifey, and it's like quite garish not in your face, but like it's very clear that you're the bride or you're the wifey to be. But a lot of our products, and we specifically wanted this as well, can be transferable, not just from the hen do, but they can be worn in any kind of bridal occasion up until the wedding and even on the wedding day. Yeah. So it's not just about that one night or that one weekend. It also transfers into that entire journey across that time period. But then to be honest, a lot of people, they do have the referrals. We want to be on the tip of everyone's tongue saying, oh, where did you get your stuff for your hen do? Oh, Dazed Engaged, perfect. My friend's getting married. My friend at work's getting married. My cousin's engaged. But it's also, you can utilize those things for engagement parties or and it's the gifting culture, even at work, someone's getting engaged. Like we've had quite a few offices, what we've seen from socials when we're being tagged, it's like offices, someone's getting engaged and they've purchased our products and tagged us in it. And we repost that content, and then we kind of have that customer. But we also retain all of our customer data from a website point of view. We have a very clear sign up, agree to email marketing, etc. And we do say, like, if you know anyone who's getting married, here's a discount code, or here's a little look and feel in terms of how you can dress the bride, because a lot of people also get potentially overwhelmed. We've got a lot of different accessories and vibes, but trends also come out. With a lot of cowboy hats, the Swifties have been loving them. But not just for that one day as well. The products are transferable, even though our communication is very much hen party.
Yeah.
Cool. So 6 months in, it's been a whirlwind in such a short time. What does the future hold?
Well, we actually have some exciting news. We just found out, we've actually...
You're getting married.
She is actually.
Hen party on the way. We are launching on Namshi, which we're so excited for.
Yeah. Sorry, go on. You'll have to tell.
Namshi's like a ASOS for this region.
Yeah.
So we just signed with them, and we'll busy building out a collection and assortment to list
really
on
exciting.
Fantastic.
So,
we'll put all the links in the show notes and stuff on there, but just last chance to give yourselves a little shout out. Just tell us the domain name, the social and stuff where people can come and find you.
Yeah, so www.dazedengaged.com, so you can head to our website. Everything about the Little Black Book is also on there as well, and you can follow us on social, on Instagram at dazed.and.engaged.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, Holly,
thank
Amelia,
you so much.
Thank you very much for being here. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
thank you for having us.